As you know, it's time for the news. In our first story, scientists at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, they found traces of all the 12 commonly used antibiotics in Subing and adjoining rivers in Kumasi, the Ashanti regional capital. The contamination has been traced to liquid waste from the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital and 4 Medical Reception Station Military Hospital in Kumasi. Well, there are fears the river and vegetables grown along its banks could become breeding ground for antibiotic-resistant bacteria. For our latest Hotline documentary this week, Love FM's Kwesi Debra takes you on a journey on how many lives are at the risk of suffering from diseases by these deadly bacteria from waste generated by these health facilities.
I realized that this issue has occurred, or this pipe has broken down for more than 15 years. From my discussion with the person who actually have the farm here, it's like people from the town come to buy the sugarcane. The ones that they sell on the roadside, they actually come here to buy the sugarcane and go and peel them and sell them on the roadsides. And this is actually one of the places that they do buy sugarcane when there's scarcity in the town.
He picked samples from the effluents and down and upstream of the Subing River and adjoining rivers. Vegetables grown along the river were also picked for the presence of 12 commonly used antibiotics in Ghana. Interestingly, after the investigation, all 12 common antibiotics were found.
These antibiotics that I looked for were all in the surface water that I looked for. All the 12 were actually found there. Amoxicillin, tetracyclines, they were all in the surface water and also in the hospital wastewater that I looked for. Then when I went to the levels that were found were higher in the hospital wastewater and also in the sewage treatment plant as compared to the ones that are in the surface water, the low quality water.
But how is liquid waste treated at Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital?
According to our environmental officers, all our liquid waste are diluted with the appropriate chlorine materials to rid it of all bacterial agents, and it lasts for around 15 minutes before it's let down the sink to join the main sewage.
And how has the Environmental Protection Agency been supervising the waste generated by the hospital? Samuel Otain is Regional Director.
We always look at some of the high-risk activities, like you are saying, those that are likely to emit into the air or into water bodies. Those ones are constantly put on the satellite, and we make sure that we monitor them as quickly as possible. The Environmental Protection Agency also have a lab that regularly takes samples and checks, not only on water quality. We also do for air quality, and at the same time we also do for the noise. You understand? So particular reference to we do the air quality. You know, they have an incinerator there. So around that area, we also do the air quality. Then we also take the water quality samples for analysis and those things. In most cases, you see the industry practice, where you see that the values are high or low, are not meeting standards, you advise and you direct. Sometimes you can advise. If you look at the Environmental Protection Agency Act, he said, when you identify something, you have to respond by writing to the agency, telling him or her what the offending activities, the steps that need to be taken to address the offending activity within a certain period. You know, some of the issues cannot be addressed within a week or two. Some of them can take maybe months, and some of them can take maybe years. You understand? So depending on the issue, you tell them to do it as and when appropriate, so that you'll be able to address most of the issues. But I think I would say that Komfo-Anokye is doing well. He's doing well.
Now, the Techiman Divisional Police Command has, upon a tip-off, arrested 2 persons with more than 120 slabs of substances suspected to be marijuana. The prime suspect, Kwekweje, who's the driver of a vehicle with registration number BA204318, created several compartments within the vehicle, making it difficult for police to see items on board when they stopped him. The two are currently in police custody, assisting with investigations, and will be arraigned soon, according to authorities. Anas Sabit has more in this report.
The Techiman Divisional Police Command, upon a tip-off, arrested 2 persons with 120 slabs of substance suspected to be marijuana. The two, 40-year-old Kwekwe J, a driver and a native of Nsoko, and 34-year-old Charity Asantua, also a native of Sampa, both in the Bono region, were apprehended along the Techiman-Wenchi Road. Chief Superintendent Ohinebody Bosman is the Techiman Divisional Police Commander.
About a month ago, we had intelligence that a guy called Kwekwe J had been peddling on this weed and other drugs. And we sent intelligence after him. The information we had is he lives at Nsoko, where they normally produce this cannabis. Yesterday we had information that he'll be leaving around 12 midnight. So we sent the patrol team to go and take cover and ensure that this Kwekwe guy, who has been trading in this cannabis for over 5 years, will be tracked down. So our boys went there. In the night he didn't come. London, he also have surveillance using motorbikes and routing the route to ensure that the police leave the scene before he comes. So when we had that information, I informed my men that they should make as if they've left the road and take cover somewhere again. So they left and came to Akrofom, where, fortunately for us, we saw the van coming. They chased him and got him arrested.
The vehicle, with registration number BA 204318, had been smartly designed with several compartments capable of preventing police from identifying items on board.
When the guy was arrested, they found some cannabis in the car, wrapped ones. So they brought the car to the divisional headquarters for proper search. And lo and behold, he has made compartments in the car where he's hiding this cannabis. As you could see from your pictures. We saw cassava in sacks, about 4 in sacks. Then that is what he used to cover up. Then we saw the cannabis, 120 parcels. That means every parcel is as 1 sack. We found in the car so many compartments, some under the vehicle, some in the engine, some inside the compartment, some on top of the roof. He has made his own arrangement with the welders, and they have made those things for him. That's why he hid it. So when you stop the car, even watch, you don't see anything.
Chief Superintendent Bosman indicated that the fight against drugs has led to a decrease in crime rate across the municipality.
Even though we have not been able to uproot it completely, but we have minimized it, and to a large extent, crime rate has gone down. Because when they take these drugs, they commit crime. They break in, rape cases, murder, so many things that they do. Now that we are able to keep them at bay, I think the crime rate has also come down.
40-year-old Kwekwe J tells me he's been into this job for the past 1.5 years.
Oh, my friends were 1.5. But yet, say be a debut, a woman, a bit more was in the 3 months, 6 months, and
for 34-year-old Charity, who claimed to be a primary 2 teacher at the Nsoko Islamic school, she was only provided with a lift by the driver and knew nothing about the items on board.
I was at Akrobi, so I was waiting. I'm going, so I saw the driver, but I know him. So I asked him, I don't know what to say. But the guy picked me, so we were on our way coming. We saw the police. I don't know anything because I'm coming to take car at Techiman. I will drop our light there. No, it's not my work. Even I don't know the work the man does. So I know him in town. I don't know the work he does. He will give me a lift.
The two are currently assisting police with investigations and will soon be arraigned before courts. Reporting for JoyNews, Anas Sabit, Techiman.
Well, moving on. In many places across Ghana, women struggle to fill gaps and also face a difficulty choosing between caring for family and boosting their economic status. They also pay a high price, working long hours and earning lower or meager incomes within constrained choices. The situation becomes even more unbearable and complex when these women become widows. So this is what we decided to do. We sent Mahmoud Mohamed Nuruddin to visit Kadelso in Bono East, from where he tells some gruesome stories of experiences of some widows.
Our cameras captured the lines on their faces, but who can read their pain and misery, or joy and pleasure, or even the depth of their experience in life? Musa Salamatu lost her husband 3 years ago. She decided to join these women to fend for themselves and their children. They peel fresh cassava here daily for survival. Salamatu has no other means of livelihood after the husband's death.
The work is tedious, but the returns is too small because I am paid together with my colleagues 15 cedis every week. I am also a widow and taking care of my 8 children has been difficult. If government or philanthropists can help me to improve my livelihood.
No relative from both sides of the families is supportive. Her life is a reflection of several other widows across Africa whose lives are virtually cut short in the absence of their male partners. Sitting next to Salamatu is Moro Khadija, whose situation is quite different. Her husband is alive, so why would she do everything all by herself to feed the family?
I am doing this work to take care of my family because my husband is not capable. I am not educated too, and so it has really affected me. I want to make sure my children get better education. Our husbands are fishermen, but because of the spillage of the Bui Dam, there is no fish for them to catch. We are doing this menial work to support them.
Majority of women in this situation maintain families. The practice of a married woman completely assuming responsibilities of their husbands is common in this part of the world. 57-year-old Mafinya Atiga is a mill operator here.
We grant it for them to send it to the market every Sunday. In the past, the market was good for the women, but now it is very competitive because some women also come from Techima and other places. So if there can be any kind of help for us in terms of marketing and production.
Now, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Baumia says government's quest to bridge the gap between the country's Zungos and the more endowed communities is on course as the administration works towards providing infrastructure in the inner cities of the country. Dr. Baumia, who was addressing the Muslim community at Fadama to climax 2019's Maulid, an Islamic festival to mark the celebrations of the birth of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, said some 1,080 Zongos are already benefiting from the many developmental projects being rolled out by government. Latif Idris filed this report about it.
One after the other, Muslim scholars took to the stage to narrate stories about the Holy Prophet Muhammad and how his life helped shape Islam and sustain the religion over the years. Thousands of Muslims who turned up listened with rapt attention to some rare stories about the Prophet.
Mutane Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala ya halicce su ne akan san kyau da san kyauta. Sai ya ɗauki san kyawu ya saka a zuciyar maza, ya ɗauki san kyauta ya saka a zuciyar mata. Namiji idan ya ga mace mai kyau ko da malami ne zaka ga kafafunsa suna rawa zai bita.
The keynote speaker, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, delivering his speech here, among other things, urged the Muslim population to emulate the lifestyle of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and also touted some of the achievements the Kufuor-led administration has embarked on in the Zongos in a bid to bridge the gap between the Zongos and other communities.
Just in the last 3 years, for our Zongo communities, what we have begun doing and what we are doing, you will agree with me that no government in the history of Ghana has paid as much attention to our Zongo communities as the government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
As part of government's gesture to support the Chief Imam's educational agenda and also to make education accessible to the Ghanaian people, the Vice President pledged to reconstruct the Ansar-Uddin Basic School, a school built by the National Chief Imam.
I am happy to announce that government has decided to reconstruct the Ansar-Uddin Islamic School near the home of the National Chief Imam. Ansar-Uddin is an iconic Islamic school here in Fadama, which has trained several people, including my dear wife, Samira. The total reconstruction of the school will begin in a few months, inshallah, and it will be funded by the Zongo Development Fund.
The National Chief Imam Sheikh Usman Nuh Sharbutu charged Muslim youth to emulate the character of the Holy Prophet Muhammad and live in peace with people of other faith.
Because on the day of judgment, when I shall be crying out, my soul, my soul, my soul, he will be making reference to my people, my people, my people. So therefore, may Allah reward them abundantly. May Allah help them. Now, whoever helps the cause of God, God will in reciprocation also be helpful to him. Our Ghana, our land of peace, may Allah increase the peace and harmony of our country. Wherever there is no peace, there is instability and turmoil, may Allah restore them to peace. Let us all in harmony with the practitioners of all other faiths. This has not been prohibited by God. Unbelievers, those who do not practice our faith, Allah has not prevented or prohibited us from dealing with them kindly, provided they have not fought with us and they have not prevented us from saying our prayer. Now,
the dawn prayer was said to mark the end of the 2019 Maulid Festival, which ended at 5 a.m.
And that's it for the news, but of course we're just getting started right here on the show. Mamavi joins us in a moment. We're getting through the newspapers. We've got so many big conversations coming your way. Stay for it all. We're back after this.